When an accident happens, you don't just need a mechanic. You need a team that knows the game. At Dwayne Doza Auto Body, we bring over a century of combined experience to every repair. We're certified and approved for all insurance needs, and we specialize in taking the stress out of the process. Dealing with a high deductible? We're here to help you save 50 to 100% on those out-of-pocket costs. From full-service collision repair to our brand-new mobile glass service, all our work is 100% guaranteed. Don't get sidelined by a damaged vehicle. Call 573-883-9996 for a quote, or visit us at 590 St. Gen Drive right here in St. Genevieve. Dwayne Doza Auto Body will get you back in the driver's seat.
Looking for the perfect spot in downtown St. Genevieve? Come enjoy the hometown flavor of Ciro's Restaurant, where great food, friendly faces, and unforgettable meals are always on the menu. From classic comfort dishes to crowd-favorite pizzas and pastas, Ciro's serves up fresh, delicious plates that keep locals coming back and visitors talking. Bring your family, meet your friends, or make it a night out, because every meal feels special at Ciro's. Ciro's Restaurant, downtown St. Genevieve. Here, good taste comes naturally.
And now, coming to you live and local, using Dragon Pride, this is SGHS Sports Stream, powered by Wirecast, sponsored by Wayne Doza's Auto Body and Auto Sales, and Zeros, and exclusively brought to you by St. Genevieve High School.
Welcome to tonight's game. St. Genevieve Dragons are hosting visiting Indians from St. Vincent tonight on this Monday night. Cold as it is, St. Genevieve comes into tonight's home game at 10-5 right now in the season. They're 5-0 at home right now with 2-2 away and 3-3 in neutral territory, you know, as far as tournament time goes. St. Gen's averaging about 62.3 points a game, and about 59 points are allowed. Now the St. Vincent Indians come into tonight with a record of 13-5. So far they're 6-1 at home, and they're 0-2 away right now. They're looking for their first victory away playing this season. They're 7-2 on neutral tourney. They're 66.3 points a game, so very close. Them and St. Gen will match up quite well tonight as far as offensively and defensively. However, the Indians are only allowing, I should say, 52.9 points a game. So they're a little stingier on defense than St. Gen has been, at least statistically, as we come into tonight's game. Looking at the overall matchup history of the two teams, St. Gen leads the overall record as they are 10-6. However, they've lost the last two rounds that they've been with St. Vincent here. So St. Gen looking to pick up the pace here, try to pick up a win tonight at home on this cold Monday. We'll take a break for a second to do the national anthem, and we'll be right back after that. All right, and that's the national anthem for tonight as they look to start to introduce the starters for both teams. They usually start off introducing the starting lineup for the visiting team, which is the Indians. And here we go. Let's see where they start for us.
St. Genevieve Dragons. Introducing first the starting lineup for the visiting St. Vincent Indians. First at guard, number 10, Kane Clifton.
So Kane Clifton will start, number 10.
At guard, number 13.
And at guard, number 13, Clay Ellis.
At guard, number 14.
At guard, number 14, Colden Prost.
At guard, number 15. Case
And at guard, Case Huber.
number 23.
And number 23, Max Wheeler, the senior. And now the starting lineup for St. Genevieve for tonight's matchup.
And now the starting lineup for your St. Genevieve Dragons. At guard, number 2, Parker Stomberg.
And looks like number 2, Parker Stomberg, will start tonight at guard, followed by Jeffrey Hunter, number 3. And then the point guard, Dominic Johnson. And then number 11, Alex Bosler, the guard. And finally, number 30, Eli Bennett, the guard for St. Genevieve tonight. Both teams seem to match up pretty well height-wise, so this should be a good match tonight coming in. St. Gen has 2 more games this week, so a busy week for them. Last week was a little bit of a downtime with all the snow that we had. So there was a lot of games that were canceled for a lot of the sports around the area. St. Gen not being an exception to that. So they will play tomorrow night against Park Hills, kind of a makeup game they should have played last week. And then they will have another one on Thursday. So it looks like the Indians start out here as Prost up top, looking to work the ball inside for the Indians. Nothing there. A little give and go there. And he kicks it back out to number 10, Clifton. Clifton drives, gives it to 15. That's Huber. Huber dishes it back to Clifton. Good defense out there by the Dragons as they're playing a man-to-man. And the pass is over to 13, Clay Ellis. He looks over to Prost. Prost in the corner, looking to work inside as he drives. Nice move on the inside. Sees the backboard and hits it, and that'll be 2 points. As basically St. Vincent breaks the ice. And Stomberg gets the pass inside. Nice block by Prost, though, as he stops the shot. He dishes it off to 15, Hubbard. Hubbard pushes it back out again and gives it to Prost. Prost trying to go over the top there to Baxfield, Wheeler, and Max. Nice little hand and jab, scores again, and they move up. As St. Vincent goes 4-0 to start off with. Hunter from three-point land bounces off the rim. Ball's going to move around. Wheeler's going to get the ball underneath. They give it to number 15, Huber. Huber looks to drive inside, kicks it to number 13, Clay Ellis. Ellis travels on that one as he looks to drive inside, kick it back out over to maybe Huber to shoot a tray, but no go. So that'll be a turnover for St. Vincent. Bowser gives it over to Johnson. Johnson's going to bring it up as St. Vincent looks to be in a man-to-man themselves right now as both teams matching up defensively. Johnson takes it to the right side, drives inside, and is pushed. And that'll be a foul as he draws a foul. Ball's on the ground, though, and that foul will be against number 13, Clay Ellis, and that'll be the first foul of the night. As St. Gen looks to inbound the ball here. Bosler trying to find something inside. Gives it to Johnson. Johnson, nice little shot, fouled, and 2. And Johnson looking to score the 3 points the hard way as he goes to the line. And that'll be a foul by number 13. And Ellis picks up his second foul in very quick fashion. He'll be replaced by Nations. So Liam Nations comes in to replace him. Johnson goes to the line. He's got 1. Ball will be live on the shot. And off the rim, rebounded by Wheeler. Wheeler looking to kick it out here and gives it to Nations. Nations looking to bring it up, goes over the middle, back to Wheeler. Wheeler looking to drive, kicks it out over to number 10, Clifton. Shoots the tray, misses. Good rebound by Prost as he dishes it out to number 15, Huber. Huber shoots the tray, misses, rebounded, and dished out by Hunter. Hunter drives and is able to draw the foul on the inside as the ball was kicked out by Bennett on the rebound. And that'll stay on the ground, and that'll be Prost's first foul. Bosler looks to inbound. Gives it to Johnson up top of the key. Johnson checks it out, gives it to Hunter. Hunter trying to look inside, back to Johnson at the top as Dragons trying to work it inside. Johnson drives up the middle. Nice little shot, but misses. Nations will get the rebound and gives it up to 14, Prost. Prost looking to drive, and he goes right up the middle and is able to draw the foul on Hunter as Hunter was trying to get the charging call, but wasn't set. And Prost will go to the line for 2 on that shot. Coleman a little frustrated with that non-call and talks over it with the ref as Prost drains the first one. 5:16 to play in the first quarter. Dragons trailing 5-2 here as Prost hits the second of two. Basler looks to inbound. They're going to go full court man. He gets it into Stomberg. Stomberg dishes it out to Hunter as Dragons trying to break the press. Johnson able to kick it over to Stomberg, and they get the ball back. Pretty good, aggressive, nice little press there by St. Vincent. And Hunter drives and scores on a layup from the block. Hits it 4-6 right now as both teams back and forth. Prost has the ball, looking to drive down the middle. Picks the ball up, and little stop there by Basler, and that's going to be a turnover as Johnson is able to pick the ball up. He looks to push, and looks like he's going to kick it back out. Gives it to Hunter at the top of the key. Hunter looks like he travels as he takes too many steps to the inside, and that'll be a turnover for the Dragons. Dragons still in a press mode here as they look to go a 2-2-1 press. 4:28 left to play as Dragons trail by 2. Prost is going to bring it up for the Indians. Little quick handoff to Clifton. Clifton over, nice defensive play by Johnson, anticipating, gets the steal, the drive, and the score as he takes it all the way. Nations inbounds, and it's back to Prost up top as they get over, and we are tied at 6 here. Prost gives it over to Nation. Nation shoots the tray, and it's a bounce over the top of the backboard. That's going to be a turnover there off the shot, and St. Gen will get the ball back with 3:58 left to play on that shot. So Johnson slowing the pace down here as he brings it up. They're still in man. Bennett looks to shoot, gives it to Hunter, looks to cut inside. Nothing doing. Hunter back door over to Johnson to Bennett for the tray, and it's in from the baseline. Nice shot by Bennett. And St. Vincent responds fast as it looks like Stomberg fouls immediately as they don't get back fast enough on that. Nice job by St. Vincent bringing the ball down and catching the Dragons off guard there. 3:30 left to play in the first quarter. Wheeler looking to inbound. He finds Prost. Prost trying to get back to Wheeler. Back to Prost again from the outside. Shoots the tray and nails it. Nice shot by Prost. Hunter gets it into Johnson. Johnson wastes no time. Kicks it down to Basler. Basler looks to drive, and the ball is deflected out of bounds. St. Gen will have 2 replacements come in, as looks like Broden Kreitler will replace, and so will Maddox Sutton. They're going to give Parker and Hunter a little time, and Basler inbounds to Kreitler. Kreitler taking it back up to the key, gives it to Bennett. Bennett looks to shoot, pulls up. Basler has it on the wing, and Johnson back up top. Little drive there by Sutton inside. Kicks it back out to Broden Kreitler. Kreitler looks to drive inside, has his shot inside. Nice little touch and hits 2. St. Gen will get back quick. 2:50 left to play. St. Gen goes up by 2 here, 11-9, as both teams are back and forth. Prost dishes it off to Nations. Nations looks to drive. He gives it over to, looks like number 31, Whistler. Prost drives to the inside. Nice inside move. Misses, though. Sutton will get the rebound. Basler looks to push. Going straight up. He decides to keep it. Goes for the layup. Misses it. And Prost gets the rebound. He's bringing it back hard as well. Looking to try and get something here. Wheeler inside to number 15, Hubbard. Back to Wheeler. Wheeler having trouble dribbling it out. Get it to Whistler. Whistler on the outside. Whistler looking to kind of dish out. Gives it to Nations. Nations trying to work inside as the Dragons keep him out of the paint. Whistler inside, throws the ball away, and that's going to go out of bounds. And St. Gen's defense pays off. And looks like Simon Fritsch is going to replace Bennett here for the Dragons with 2 minutes left to play. And so far, the only 2 players on the court that hadn't had a break yet is Basler and Dominic. So Johnson takes his time bringing it up here as they look to run a play here. Looks like a double screen. Johnson gets the pick, a la mode. Pulls up, gives it to Kreitler. Kreitler drives the lane, misses off the block. It's going to be rebounded. They give it to Prost down. He looks to kick underneath. And nice pass there by Prost over to Whistler. Fritsch not able to deflect it, and that's going to count. And the game's tied at 11. Johnson brings it up top as St. Vincent stays in their man-to-man. Kreitler has the ball right now. He's at the top of the key. Looks on the screen from Sutton, nothing there. Johnson over at the wing, letting people set up here for the team as he spreads everybody out, trying to go one-on-one. Sutton for a three-point shot, nails it as he drains it from the arc. Minute left to go in the first quarter of play here, as it's been just what we thought it would be, back and forth action. As Hubbard brings it up, gives it over to Wheeler. Wheeler back over to Prost. Prost, little jab step inside to Wheeler. Wheeler looks like he walks. Nice block by Simon Fritsch as Kreitler gets the ball. They look to push as Bosler takes it to the hole. Not able to get it on the reverse. Prost gives it to Nations. Nations is coming down for St. Vincent. Nice little pass out there over to Prost, and it looks like there's going to be an offensive foul as Prost pushes off. No, it looks like it's going to be Wheeler. So Wheeler's going to push off underneath, and that's going to be an offensive foul. Ball's going to go back to St. Gen as the score 14-11 in the first quarter of play as it starts to come to a close with 21 seconds left as the clock ticks. St. Gen taking their time, looking to do one shot here as they work the clock. Kreitler hands off to Sutton. Sutton at the top of the key picks the ball up, looking to dish, gives it over to Hunter as Hunter came in to give Bosler a quick breathing room. And that pass is going to be stolen and deflected by Huber. And Coach Coleman is not happy with the pass there from Hunter as that puts them on the line, St. Vincent, I should say. And Dom, unfortunately, has to foul to keep that from going in with 2.4 seconds left. So Johnson picking up a foul right before the end of the first quarter as Huber hits the first one. So 14-12 with 2.4. St. Gen's going to have to get the ball and push hard if they're going to get a shot off here. 2.4 seconds left. And he hits the second one. And they get the ball into Johnson with 1 second. Johnson from half court threw a Hail Mary, but nothing home. And so we're going to end the first quarter of play 14-3 in a fast-paced game for both teams. And we'll be back in a moment.
It takes a community to build a great team, and that's why we are so proud to partner with Ciro's Family Restaurant, a downtown tradition for over 30 years. Ciro's is the perfect place to celebrate a win or just grab a great meal. From their famous pizzas to fantastic pasta and savory sandwiches, they've got all the fuel you need to get loud for the Dragons. Dine in, outdoor seating, or curbside pickup, however you want it. Ciro's delivers. Ciro's Family Restaurant, our sponsor and your spot for great food. Click on the QR code or go online to check out their updated menu at cirosrestaurant.com/menus. It takes a community to build a great team, and that's why we are so proud to partner with Ciro's Family Restaurant, a downtown tradition for over 30 years. Ciro's is the perfect place to celebrate a win or just grab a great meal. From their famous pizzas to fantastic pasta and savory sandwiches, they've got all the fuel you need to get loud for the Dragons. Dine in, outdoor seating, or curbside pickup, however you want it. Ciro's delivers. Ciro's Family Restaurant, our sponsor and your spot for great food.
Hey, never miss a game. Scan the QR code or subscribe to our YouTube channel, SGHS Sports Stream, home of the Dragons. So we're back to start the second quarter of play here with 8 minutes to start. And the Dragons will get the ball coming out as they dish it over to Bosler, who takes it to the top of the key here after the change in quarter. Nice move inside by Bosler, who drives the hole, draws the foul, and will go to the line for two after he misses it. St. Gen up by one. If you're just tuning in, it was a back-and-forth game of defense last quarter in the first quarter as both teams back and forth working hard to get a shot off as both teams' defense has been pretty solid tonight, at least to start the beginning of the first half. Bosler sinks the first of two here as both teams settle in for the second shot. He sinks the second one. St. Gen will come back here into their defense as they won't press here. And St. Vincent gives the give and go there to number 14, Prost. Prost looking inside, swings it all the way across to Clifton. Clifton back over to Ellis. Ellis back to Huber, and Huber finds Prost, swings it over to Ellis again, and nice inside pass there to number 10, Clifton, as he is able to convert from the block on the inside. 2 points for St. Vincent. Bosler brings it up, kicks it over to Bennett. Bennett swings it to Hunter, who shoots a tray up top, misses, and that'll be rebounded by Wheeler. And number 15, Huber, wastes no time bringing the ball down as he kicks it over to Clifton. Clifton swings it back over to Ellis, and Ellis back over to Prost. Prost on the wing, trying to find Wheeler on the inside. Wheeler pops out, and on the cut, Wheeler just throws it up anyway for a three-pointer, and he nails it. Nice shot by Wheeler. And Bosler will bring it back in as St. Gen now trails by 2. Bosler looking to drive right from the top of the key, misses, gets his own rebound, goes back up again and hits 2 as he takes matters into his own hands. And it's 18-18, 6:32 left to play in the second quarter as both teams are tied here. Prost bringing it up at the top of the key, looking for a screen for Wheeler. Wheeler, the give and go, he keeps it, looks to drive, kicks it out to number 13, Ellis, and Ellis shoots the tray, misses. Rebound by Fritsch. Fritsch will dish it out to Hunter. Hunter will swing it over to Bennett. Bennett looking at Stomberg. Stomberg looking inside. Nice move to Alex Bosler, who draws the foul on the give and go, and he will go to the line for 2 with 6:05 left to play. So that foul will go to Clifton. That'll be his first foul of the night as Bosler goes to the line for the second time. And Alex hits the first one of 2 as Stomberg will be replaced by Dominic Johnson. 6:05 left on the clock as Bosler misses the second of 2. The rebound by Clifton. And it's passed to Prost. Prost back over to Huber. Huber looking to go back over. He gives it back to Prost. Prost on the wing, trying to find something inside as he's kind of eyeballing Clifton there. And nice give and go there to Ellis. Ellis gives it over to Clifton. Clifton back over. Good defense by Johnson. Not able to maintain, though. And it's inbounded in to number 10, Clifton. He drives, misses. Now Prost drives, and he nails it with a little stop and drop, one-handed motion. And that's 2 points for the Indians. Johnson drives inside, tries to dish something in to Simon Fritsch. It's going to be kicked by the Indians, go out of bounds. St. Gen will retain the ball. St. Gen trailing 19-20 as Bosler inbounds to Johnson. Johnson at the block is blocked by number 14 on the shot, Prost. Prost gets the ball, dishes it over to 15, Huber, and Huber drives it back out to Clifton. It'll go inside to Wheeler. Wheeler drives, and that's going to be a blocking foul on number 3, Hunter. So Jeffrey Hunter picks up a foul there, and that'll be his second foul of the first half. He'll be replaced immediately by Sutton, who comes in. 5:08 left to play as St. Gen trails by 1 right now. Indians looking inside, and they manage to find Clay Ellis. He gives it back to Prost. Prost on the wing, over to 15, Huber. Huber to Ellis. Over to number 10, Clifton, who shoots the tray on the baseline, nails it, and that's 3 points for the Indians. Johnson brings it down at the top of the key, looking inside as they spread it out. Picks the ball up, and inside to Bosler, it's going to be turned over as he throws it into the land of the Giants. Indians get the ball. Prost will bring it up at the top of the key, looks inside and just throws it away in a miscommunication there with number 15, Huber. Huber was going to cut inside, and it looked like Prost thought he was going to stay on the outside. So a little turnover there, and luck for the Dragons as Johnson brings it in here and kicks it over to Bosler. Bosler drives to the inside and draws the foul on the shot. Another great job by him penetrating. And he'll go to the line for 2 as the foul will be on number 14, Colden Prost. Prost will pick up his second foul of the first half as Bosler settles in. and hits the first. 4:22 left to play tonight. Both teams pretty satisfactory on defense, playing pretty well and hitting the shots they need to hit tonight to stay within each other. And second shot was hit by Bosler, bringing the game 2 here as they inbound the ball here to Prost, who's going to try and backdoor. And Wheeler from a deep shot misses the three-point shot. Bosler will get the ball, looks to push it, and shoots and drives and scores off the block as he goes coast to coast. And that'll be 23-23 right now with 3:58 left to play in the first half. Both teams evenly matched. Prost, little handoff there to 15 Huber. Huber's cut off. He's lacking Wheeler up top for the screen. And he gets the screen, the roll, and nice job by Bosler, who's there but not able to stop the penetration. And Wheeler's able to score off that and give 2 points there to the Indians. Johnson drives. Another nice move inside. Johnson can't finish, though, from the assist, potential assist from Bosler. That'll be a miss, rebounded by the Indians. Indians starting to push here. And nice move by number 13, Clay Ellis, but he misses the shot off the paint. Bosler will get the rebound. Bosler looks to keep it and go all the way in, and they're going to give him a walk on that as he tries to do a spin move on the inside. And timeout by Coach Coleman as St. Gen turns the ball over with 3:10 left to play, and Coach wants to talk it over and change the pace of the game up, and we're going to change the pace as we'll be back in a moment.
We are excited to announce that St. Genevieve Athletics
All right, we're back after the timeout by Coach Coleman as the Dragons try to regroup here as they trail by 2. Ball will be in the possession of the Indians coming into this game. And St. Vincent been leading, playing a pretty impressive game so far as Prost brings the ball down. As Hubert cuts down the corner, a little give and go with a Hubert to Prost. Prost trying to drive baseline, almost deflected by Johnson. Nice trap inside as they dish it back out to number 15, Hubert. Hubert takes the tray, misses, goes to number 14, Prost. Prost shoots, misses the 3. Johnson gets the rebound, looks to push. He's going to drive inside, and he is going to fall down. Max Wheeler's going to take the ball and try to go coast to coast on the steal, and Broden Kreitler's going to get the foul on the shot, which is about all he can do at that juncture right now. Kreitler had come in to replace Bosler to give him a break. 2:37 left to play. St. Gen down by 2 as Wheeler goes to the line for 2. And the big lefty misses the first shot there. And Stomberg comes in. He's going to replace Sutton for the Dragons. And looks like Nations is going to come in as well. And so is number 31, Quentin Whistler. So St. Vincent hits the second one as they go up by 3. Johnson at the top of the key, dishes out over to Bennett. Bennett drives the middle, gets it to Stomberg. Stomberg back out to Bennett. Bennett looks to penetrate, nothing there. He kicks it back out to Kreitler, who has the top of the key, gives it to Johnson in the three-point lane. Johnson pulls out, step, misses the shot. Wheeler's going to get the rebound and gives it up to Huber to come down the court. Huber sees Prost on the wing, and he drives. Nice job by Dom, but he's going to get a foul on that with the defense on Prost as he was doing a pretty good job forcing him to the line. Dom is going to get a foul, and that's going to be his second. They're going to replace Dom now with Bosler. With 2:07, they don't want to get him in foul trouble, being their point guard. As they inbound over the top, Wheeler gets the ball. He's top of the key, kicks it over to Whistler. Whistler over to Nations. Nations kind of looking things over from the wings position and drives down, gives it to Max Wheeler, and he drives in and scores. Nice penetration there And that'll be 2 points there as Bosler gets the ball in and kicks it over to Stomberg. Stomberg looking to shoot, pulls it out to Kreitler, and back over to Stomberg up the middle, trying to find Bosler on the move here. Bennett looking to drive, nothing there, and he gets picked by Whistler. Whistler looking to drive, pulls the ball out, so the steal will go to him as a change of possession goes over to the Indians. Number 15, Huber at the top of the key, looked for Wheeler to screen and drive, but the pick and roll wasn't there. Wheeler gives him the option. There's the pick, nothing there. Nice move inside, and looks like number 14, Colden Prost, drives. Kreitler tries to take the charge. He looked like he was in position. It looked like a good job getting set. It just wasn't, I guess, fluid enough for the ref to call. So that's going to be a foul on Kreitler. He'll pick up his second foul as Sutton will come in to replace. Simon Fritsch. He misses the second one, and Stomberg gets the rebound. Scores 23-28, a minute left to play here as Kreitler has the ball on the wing, kicks it over to Bosler at the top of the key. Bosler looking to make something happen here. Sees inside, just wasn't there able to get it to him. Bennett looked to drive, shoots free throw line extended, shoots an air ball. Bosler able to rebound underneath. Nice job and hustle. Nice inside give and go right there by Bosler to Kreitler as he scores two. 25-28 with 42 left to play. St. Gen still in man as Prost brings it up, looking at Nations inside, nothing there. Gives it to Wheeler again. Wheeler on the give and go. Prost looking inside, finds, looks like Whistler, and Whistler just takes one too many steps and can't come still on the jump stop. So it was probably a good idea, just wasn't able to get it out through fruition there as Prost is replaced here. With 27 seconds left, St. Gen looking to try and either tie or at least get close to one here with one shot, hopefully, as they look to double screen. And Bosler has his pick, drives anyways, goes for the layup, misses. It's going to be rebounded by Huber. Huber's going to dish it out to number 13, Ellis. Ellis back to Huber. Huber over to Nations. Nations for three, and in and out. Deflected by Bennett. 2 seconds left. And Kreitler's got to throw up a Hail Mary off the, looks like off the backboard and no show. So St. Gen's going to have to go in at half, down by 3 as they trail 25-28 in the first half of play. Not the highest scoring game, but like I said, this game's been back and forth with a lot of defense as both teams are vying back and forth for positioning to find the right shot. Not a lot of outside shooting as they work the ball inside for a high percentage shot, kicking it out every once in a while with a three-point shot. Right now, it's going to be the Indians that are leading right now in that category, but St. Gen hanging in there real close as they led in the first quarter and then came away with a couple of turnovers and missed opportunities here in the second quarter. So all in all, though, both teams evenly matched, doing well on both sides of the ball defensively, and you can't expect much more than that right now from each team as they'll go in and talk about it. But now here for Ste. Genevieve, they are going to have our Emeralds come out and do their halftime dance. So we'll show that halftime dance, and then we will then proceed on over to our second half. We'll be right back.
an accident happens, you don't just need a mechanic. You need a team that knows the game. At Dwayne Doza Auto Body, we bring over a century of combined experience to every repair. We're certified and approved for all insurance needs, and we specialize in taking the stress out of the process. Dealing with a high deductible? We're here to help you save 50 to 100% on those out-of-pocket costs. From full-service collision repair to our brand-new mobile glass service, all our work is 100% guaranteed. Don't get sidelined by a damaged vehicle. Call 573-883-9996 for a quote, or visit us at 590 St. Gen Drive right here in St. Genevieve. Dwayne Doza Auto Body will get you back in the driver's seat.
Looking for the perfect spot in downtown St. Genevieve? Come enjoy the hometown flavor of Ciro's Restaurant, where great food, friendly faces, and unforgettable meals are always on the menu. From classic comfort dishes to crowd-favorite pizzas and pastas, Ciro's serves up fresh, delicious plates that keep locals coming back and visitors talking. Bring your family, meet your friends, or make it a night out, because every meal feels special at Ciro's. Ciro's Restaurant, downtown St. Genevieve. Here, good taste comes naturally.
When life throws you a dent, a ding, or a breakdown, we've got your back at Dwayne Doza Auto Body and Auto Sales with certified technicians that'll bring your car back to life. Fast, affordable, and done right the first time. So if you're ever in trouble or need a repair, call Dwayne Doza at 573-883-9996.
All right, coming back after the first half, St. Gen been trailing 25-28 as they've been outscored by the Indians. St. Gen looking to try and break the monotony here offensively as they have struggled a little bit with some of their shots as the stingy defense for basically St. Vincent has been pretty tough for them to overcome right now in the first half. But like anything else, the tale of two halves. We'll see how St. Gen comes out after having a discussion at halftime with Coach Coleman, as the Indians will have the ball coming out to start the second half. Ball will be dished over to number 15, Huber. Huber over inside to Prost, and Prost steps out of bounds. Nice defense there by the Dragons as they kind of double team him up, and he has nowhere to go. And that'll be a turnover to start off the third quarter of play here of the game as Bosler gives it to Dom. Dom brings it up and looks to come over to the side here as he's from the wing. Nice inside pass to Hunter, and the execution wasn't there, but the play was as Hunter fumbles the ball and it goes out of bounds. That'll be a turnover by St. Gen as both teams start off the beginning of each possession here by turning the ball over. Huber will bring the ball up over the wing, dishes inside to Prost. Prost squares up here, looking to work something inside over to maybe Wheeler again. And Prost spins around, gives it over to Huber. Huber looking to drive inside, nothing there. Kicks it back out to Prost at the top. He thought about shooting from the top of the key, brings it down, and kicks it back out to number 10, Clifton. Clifton picks the ball up, and luckily it would have thrown it away, but it hits the ref and stays in bounds. So lucky break there by the Indians as number 13, Ellis, is able to maintain. Prost takes it up the wing position there as Wheeler looks to screen and pick and roll. They dish it out to Clifton, who hits the tray. Nice shot there from the wing, or I should say the baseline, as Johnson brings it up, gives it to Bennett. Bennett on the wing here, trying to work something inside, gives it back to Johnson, who hands off to Bosler as they spread it out. They give it over to Stomberg, who has an open three shot, misses it. It's going to be rebounded by the Indians, and looks like they're going to push here as Huber looks to drive inside. Nice kick out to Wheeler, but it's a bad pass. And the ball's on the ground. It's all over the place. And looks like St. Gen's going to come up with it after 4 or 5 different people touch the ball. And that'll be a foul right there on Clifton, who over pursues. That'll be his third foul as he attempts to try and get the steal. And he'll pick up his third foul as Bosler looks to inbound baseline here. 6:15 left to play in the third quarter as St. Gen inbounds over to Johnson. Johnson takes his time as St. Gen sets up here. Looks like maybe a double screen here as they do. Johnson looking to drive, is able to capitalize and gets the shot off, but no good as he misses backboard. It's going to be rebounded by the Indians, who doesn't waste any time. They push real fast. Huber in the side gives it over to Wheeler. Wheeler misses, gets his rebound, puts it back up, misses again. It's going to be rebounded by Bennett, who dishes it out to Johnson. Johnson brings it up, kicks it over to Hunter, who swings it over to Bosler, back to Bennett, over to Johnson on the outside. He's in the wing position, gives it to Bosler, top of the key three, pulls up, misses. It's going to be rebounded by, looks like Ellis. Ellis is going to bring the ball up, gives it over to Huber. And Huber back and forth here over to Wheeler. Wheeler top of the key and kicks it over to Clifton. Clifton back to Prost. Prost on the wing. Goes to the top of the key. Swings it back over. Open look there by number 13, Clay Ellis, who shoots the tray and nails it. And quick timeout by Coleman as he was not happy with how that turned out as he sees a little bit of the chink in the St. Gen's armor. So St. Gen will take the timeout, and we will go to commercial break. We'll be back in a moment.
This winter season, share the flavor of Ciro's with a Ciro's restaurant gift card. Perfect for friends, family, teachers, teammates, and anyone who loves good food and good vibes. Whether it's a cozy dinner, a quick bite, or your favorite Ciro's dish, a gift card lets them enjoy it their way. Easy to give, fun to receive, and delicious every time. Pick yours up today at your local Ciro's restaurant and make someone's season extra tasty. This winter.
All right, we're back after that timeout the Dragons called. St. Gen has 3 timeouts left to play with in this game as the Indians have 5. So it's a half-court press, a 1-2-2. Bosler's able to break the press, dishes out to Stomberg underneath at the block. Stomberg looks to push, goes to shoot, gets fouled by number 13, Clay Ellis. And Ellis will pick up his 4th foul. And that puts Stomberg on the line. So that's kind of a big hit there against the Indians, as it looks like Nations is going to have to come in again and replace Ellis, as Ellis is in foul trouble with 4:54, a lot of time left in the third quarter. Stomberg hits the first bucket and looks to hit his second here. 4:54 left to play in the third quarter as Stomberg falls short of that shot, rebounded by Wheeler, and Prost is able to bring it up the middle, kicks it on out to Huber. Huber swings it back out to Prost. Didn't like what he saw. Throws it to, looks like Wheeler at the top. Wheeler trying to set the screen with Nations underneath. Nothing there, and that's going to be an open look for Prost from the 3. Misses, deflected by Wheeler, but Bosler's going to get it. He pushes 3-on-3. He's going to take it anyways and shoot, and it's going to be deflected off Hunter, and that's going to be the Indians' ball as Bosler's not successful on the conversion there. Prost bringing it up for the Indians as he and Huber get wide on both sides. He sends it over to Huber for a shot. Real quick, 3 points, just misses. Rebounded by Hunter. Hunter kicks it out to Bosler. Bosler looking to push the issue, and that's going to be a foul on the ground there by number 15, Case Huber. Huber picks up his second foul as he hits Bosler. Bosler decides to stay in as Coleman asks if he's all right. He's going to inbound the ball here. He inbounds to Hunter. Nice patience, and Hunter not able to convert as he misses the shot. So again, the play was there. The execution not done very well. so it looks like the Indians will be bringing the ball down as number 15, Huber, looks to drive, is fouled as he's going inside. And that foul is going to be on number 2, Stomberg. Stomberg picked up his second foul here. Wheeler inbounding for the Indians. Good defense there by St. Gen, but not strong enough to keep a 5-second. Nice drive inside by Huber, but it's not going to go as Johnson gets the ball, drives it down, gives it to Hunter. Hunter pulls up for a 3 and nails it, and that was a much needed hit there by Jeffrey Hunter, and the Dragons needed that as it's 28-34 as things were starting to kind of fade away from him on the scoring department. Bosler one-on-one with Probst up top here. Probst looking inside, kicks it to the outside as they keep the ball. Bosler intercepts it. He's going to drive and gets the easy layup, and he goes coast to coast, and that's going to be a timeout, this time by the Indians coach. And the score goes 30-34 as Bosler is able to capitalize on the steal, and that's going to be a timeout, and it's going to be a full timeout by St. Vincent, and we will be back in a moment.
Looking for the perfect spot in downtown Ste. Genevieve? Come enjoy the hometown flavor of Ciro's Restaurant, where great food, friendly faces, and unforgettable meals are always on the menu. From classic comfort dishes to crowd-favorite pizzas and pastas, Ciro's serves up fresh, delicious plates that keep locals coming back and visitors talking. Bring your family, meet your friends, or make it a night out, because every meal feels special at Ciro's. Ciro's Restaurant, downtown Ste. Genevieve. Here, good taste comes naturally.
All right, we're back after that timeout by the Indians, who had called a full timeout after that steal by Bosler, who was able to convert. Indians will inbound here to start the clock for the third quarter. 3:17 left to play as number 14, Colden Prost, brings it up for the Indians. Him and Bosler one-on-one on each other tonight. And looks a little switch off there. Nice inside move by Wheeler, and Wheeler draws the foul as he gives a charge. Wheeler is in the give and go here. It was like a pick and roll. They dished it out to him, and he basically rolled over Dominic Johnson. Johnson, Iron Man award there as he gets up and draws a foul. That'll be the second foul tonight for Wheeler. 3:06 to play here as St. Gen will take the ball out. Johnson will bring it up here as St. Gen looks to run a play. Little pick and roll, nothing there. Johnson driving inside, tries to get the layup and nails it. Nice job by Johnson, an elusive move inside as he scores 2. Indians wasting no time bringing the ball down, and they give it out to Probst up there on the wing. Probst looking to try to drive inside. He picks the ball up, looking for an outlet, and it was deflected a little bit by Hunter. It's going to pick up by Wheeler. Wheeler going to lose the ball to Hunter. Hunter by himself underneath and hits the layup. Nice job there by Bosler, dishing it out to him on the assist. Probst immediately drives on the ball, gets fouled as there's a push off there. Looks like by Bosler. He is not going to score. That's Bosler's first foul for tonight with 2:22 left to play. Great job by Probst for the Indians as he drives the lane, wastes no time getting the ball down after that last make to tie it, and he misses his first free throw. So he misses 1 of 2 here as he's going for the second one. St. Gen looking to rebound here as both teams are tied at gridlock. 34-34, 2:22 left to play on the clock in the third period. Probst goes for his second shot, nails it. Hunter wasting no time, gets it into Dom. Dom's going to bring it down as St. Gen looks to set up quick. Little pick and roll there. Johnson picks it up, gives it to Bosler. Bosler, nice move inside and is able to hit it on the block on the layup. And Bosler hits 2 more points as St. Gen leads now 36-35. And looks like it's one-on-one with Huber and Kreitler on the outside as they dish it over to Whistler. Whistler drives inside, and it looks like he takes too many steps, and he does. So Whistler takes the train. Choo-choo, the whistle goes, and it's going to be a turnover for the Indians. 1:54 left to play, 36-35 in the third quarter. Johnson will bring it up as St. Gen looks to capitalize on the turnover there. Johnson up top of the key here, trying to find something to work on the inside. St. Gen kind of getting clogged up here, figuring it out. And Kreitler back over to Hunter. Hunter shoots the 3 from nowhere, misses it. It's going to be rebounded by Wheeler. Wheeler brings it up, goes to the corner real quick, picks it up, and he's in trouble. Can't find an outlet. It could be 5 seconds. Nope, he gets it to Probst, and that's going to be a foul on Dominic. And that'll be Dom's third foul as a minute 24 comes into play. Dominic looking to try and get the steal, wasn't able to do it. And Coleman is going to replace Bennett with Johnson after getting 3 fouls. So Bennett comes in as Probst looks to inbound here. Gives it up to Wheeler. Wheeler, the give and go, looks to go into the inside to Probst. Probst dribbling up top, looking to try and make a move here. Nice move inside, gives it to Nations. Nations pulls up, pop shot, in and out. Wheeler gets the rebound and puts it back up. Nice left-handed shot from the block, and that'll go in as they go ahead, 37-36 with a minute and 5 left to play. Bennett gives it to Hunter. Hunter looks to drive. It is blocked, and ball's loose. Wheeler's going to get it. Gives it to Probst. Probst wastes no time looking to drive to the right side and gets away with a foul, and Probst throws one inside to Wheeler, but it's too hot to handle as the hot potato goes out of bounds. And that'll be a turnover as Hunter is out, and looks like Simon Fritsch will go in and replace him. Stomberg will replace Sutton as they make a few adjustments here. Looks like Wheeler will be replaced by number 10, Kane Clifton, as both teams make their subs. Basel will bring the ball up with 42 seconds left to play here. Stomberg on the move on the inside, give it to Bennett. Bennett looking to Kreitler underneath, doesn't decide to give it to him. Back to Basler at the top of the key. Basler looking to do something here. Dishes to Stomberg. Stomberg drives inside, almost falls down, turns the ball over. Nice move there by Probst as he gets the steal and gives it up to Huber. Huber swings it out over to Whistler. Whistler back over to Probst. So Probst on the wing, now at the top of the key, drives inside, looks to take it and is able to draw the foul here. We'll see who he calls this one on. And that one's going to go on Broden Kreitler. Kreitler picks up his 3rd foul of the game with 13.6 seconds left to play, and that'll put Bros on the line. And looks like Sutton is going to sub in here and replace Kreitler, as Coach Coleman doesn't want Kreitler to pick up another foul before the end of the 3rd quarter. So Prost misses the first one, looks to hit the second, and it is in and out. So St. Gen avoids points there as it's 11 seconds left to play. St. Gen's looking to try and get a shot off here. Bosler's just going to keep the ball, kicks it out to Stomberg. Stomberg dishes it over to Bennett as nobody seems to know how much time's left on the clock. Bennett has to throw up a quick one, but no go. And we'll go into the 4th quarter as St. Gen trails 36-37 as they do make up a little bit of ground in the 3rd quarter after coming in at the half, being down by 3. St. Gen looking to try and do something here going into the 4th quarter of play as they are down by 1. Both teams back and forth action here as the shots kind of cooled for the Indians, where they were hitting a couple trays there in the 2nd quarter, and they've had a little in and out action from some of their shots on point. So St. Gen able to hit a couple of quick hitters from steals on layups and, 1 3-point shot from Hunter on the outside. But everything right now has been on the inside half, in the paint, and off the block. Right now, leading for St. Gen in scoring right now is Bosley, who has 13. And it looks like for the Indians, leading with 12 points is going to be, looks like Wheeler. So Max Wheeler's the leader for them on that end. As we come out of the into the 3rd quarter and begin the 4th quarter with 8 on the block, St. Gen will have the ball coming out. St. Gen trails by 1 as we finally enter the last quarter of play here. And Johnson will get the ball at the top of the key to get it going, and play will ensue. Johnson looking inside, trying to find something, gives it to Bosler. Nice move inside and a good finger roll. He scores on that one, and that'll be 2 points, 38-37 as St. Gen goes ahead by 1. Prost has the ball in the corner, gives it up to Maxfield, or Wheeler, I should say. Wheeler dishes it out over to 15 Huber. Huber trying to work inside, nothing there. Whoa, almost overshoots number 13, Clay Ellis. And Clay Ellis drives hard inside and will get a charging foul offensively, and that'll be his 5th foul, and Clay Ellis is out of the game as he fouls out, and that'll bring in, it looks like, Liam Nations to replace Ellis. And Dominic Johnson will get the charging foul, or he won't be charged the foul, but he was the one who got it. Little razzle-dazzle inside, gives the ball up to Bennett for 3 points from the wing and nails it baseline. Nice job there by Stomberg. Gets the ball inside, can't find an outlet, finds Bennett deep. Bennett throws one up and hits it, and that's huge as they're working inside on Wheeler. Is Sutton playing right now, and looks like there's going to be a foul called right there on Bosler, as Bosler thinks he got all the ball, and he's trying to talk with the ref on it, and ref is just asking him what's going on, and he lets him know what he hit. So that foul is actually not on Bosler, it's on number 4, Sutton. So Sutton's going to be given the foul from Wheeler's on Wheeler as Wheeler hits the first of 2 shots. As they settle down right now, Wheeler's getting ready to go in again as he brings up the second one, slings it in. And St. Gen inbounds, and here we go. 2-point game. This has been pretty solid and like this all night. Bennett from the tray misses. It's going to be rebounded by Prost. Prost kicks it out over to 15 Huber. Huber looking to drive and kicks it out deep. They throw it over to Nations. Nations back over to number 10, Clifton. Clifton inside to Wheeler. Let's see what Wheeler does. He's usually been good burning inside. Sutton doing a good job trying to keep him out, but not good enough. And nice job by Max Wheeler, who's able to push and get underneath. Wheeler ties the game. 6:09 left to play here. Bosler looking to drive, picks it up and misses the shot. And Bosler's going to go to the line for two, as Bosler picking up a lot of fouls tonight from his opponents by pushing the issue. That's going to be a foul on Case Huber. That's going to be his third. And Bosler misses the first shot, as Sutton will be replaced by Hunter. Jeffrey Hunter coming in after getting 3 fouls, and looks like Bosler will hit that one as Prost gets the ball and comes up quick from Wheeler. Prost looking to drive. Nice defense there by Bosler, and Bosler's going to get, looks like a little bit of a body shot there, and the body check is going to be a foul, and that's going to be a foul on Bosler as Prost drives and draws the foul, but it's on the ground, so there won't be a shot as the Indians look to inbound here. Prost with the ball out of bounds, looking to inbound here. Goes over the top of Stomberg's man. That would be number 15, Huber. Huber drives inside to Wheeler. Nice pass. Is not able to convert, and Hunter and him battle for the ball. It's hit out of bounds, and Hunter may come up with the ball again. It's all over the place, and looks like it's going to go out of bounds. Nice hustle there by Dominic and Hunter to try and get the loose ball, but they are not going to come up with it. And looks like St. Vincent's going to take the ball out with 5:39 left to play here. Prost will get the ball at the top of the key, and he looks to drive. Nice job by Bosler. He almost gets the steal, and that's going to be knocked out of bounds by Prost, as Bosler's going to be given the steal. 5:32 as Bosler inbounds over to Dominic, and St. Gen gets the ball. Let's see if they can do. Every possession seems to be pretty important right now for both teams, as this is a back-and-forth hit. Missed shots will kill you right now. And Bennett drives inside, picks the ball up inside to Bosler for an easy layup, and he misses it underneath. Wheeler gets the rebound, kicks it to Prost. Prost on the inside, throws it to Nations. Nations almost throws it out of bounds, and they inbound to Wheeler. Wheeler on the outside half. And Nations back at the top, gives it to Prost, who shoots the tray and misses. Wheeler with the rebound. Nice job by him boxing out, and then the nice little left-handed hook shot, and he nails it. And Wheeler drains it. And that'll be 18 points right now on the night for Wheeler as he's starting to heat up. Johnson tries to move inside, almost loses the ball. Hunter rebounds, gets it. Johnson sends it over to Stomberg. Stomberg over to Bennett. Bennett picks the ball up, gives it to Bosler. Bosler stop and pop. Misses. Nice rebound by Stomberg. Gives it over to Johnson. Johnson drives the lane, shoots, and hits the shot from the block, and that's going to be a timeout by Coleman. Great job there in concentration by St. Gen, staying in that one, as that shot there takes them up 44-43, as this is a back-and-forth battle. 4:26 left to play as the timeout's called by the Dragons. We'll be back in a moment. Watching SGHS Sports Stream, home of the Dragons. You want more Dragon sports action? It's easy. Just scan the QR code on your screen or jump straight to live coverage, podcasts, blogs, and highlights. While you're there, make sure to hit subscribe on our YouTube channel so you never miss a game. From football to basketball, softball and baseball, wrestling, and more, SGHS Sports Stream brings the action to you live and on demand. Stay connected with your Dragons only on SGHS Sports Stream. So the time coming in from the timeout, St. Gen looking to press a little bit on a 2-2-1, and the Indians are able to break the press here as they go back into man action here. And it's a matchup. It's a matchup man-to-man here as they're working inside. Coleman switching things up a little bit. Nice swing pass out to number 15, Case Huber. He shoots the tray, misses, and that's a big rebound there by Stomberg as he gives it to Bosler. Bosler slows things down here for the Dragons as they look to try and work something, as Hunter takes one at the top of the key, gives it over to Bennett. Bennett looking on the inside half, kicks it over to Hunter, the top of the key. Stomberg looking on the cutter as St. Gen trying to work a cutter off screens here. Something easy and inside. Sees Dom on the inside, nothing there. Hunter back at the top of the key, and they give it back to Bennett over at the wing. Bennett looking at Stomberg, he's got him. And Stomberg able to get the steal and the shot. Nice job and patience by St. Gen as Stomberg hits a big two-point bucket from the block. Hunter misses the steal, and inside move by Wheeler, and nothing you can do about that. Nice job by the Indians on that. Hunter thought he could get the steal, just missed it out of the fingertip reach. Bosler inside, shoots, misses, gets his rebound, misses again, and it's going to go out. And it looks like it might have been pushed out on St. Gen, but they're going to give it. They're going to say it was the Indians who did it. Bosler will inbound here. So St. Gen retains possession, gets it inside to Stomberg. Stomberg out to Bennett. Bennett hands off over to Hunter. Hunter over to Bosler to the wing. As St. Gen again working the inside pass here, trying to find something inside. Hunter trying to drive. He loses control. It's going to be rebounded by the Indians. Indians bring it down fast, and a three-point shot is taken there by, it looked like Liam Nations. Nations misses. It's going to be rebounded by Bennett, and it's 46-45, 2:27 left to play. Johnson up top of the key here, gives it to Hunter. Hunter swings it over to Bosler. And St. Gen working the shot here, wanting something inside, something that's going to be a high percentage shot. A layup, something from the block, free throw line extended. Bennett back over to Johnson as they look to burn a little more time. Johnson up top of the key, dishes it over to Stomberg. 2 minutes left to play here as St. Gen playing keep away here. Nice job and good patience on the defensive play here for the Indians. Bennett has the ball, dishes it over to Dom. Dom misses the layup. Hunter gets the rebound, misses the shot as it's blocked by Prost. Prost swings one all the way to the other side, almost throws it out, gives it to the guy who's been scoring it all, Wheeler, and he drains it right from the block. And that'll be a timeout by the coach. That's not exactly what Coleman was hoping for, and like we were talking about earlier, this is a game of very important possessions. You can't miss off the block or you can't miss the shot. Each possession is going to be detrimental to what the score will be at the end of this game, as now the Indians go up by one as it's 46-47 on that quick pitch down, and Wheeler able to penetrate. Wheeler now has scored 22 points for St. Vincent tonight. He has been their big hitter, and Bosler has scored 16 for St. Gen, and he has been the high scorer for St. Gen. Both teams back and forth action on the defense, as this has been a pretty stingy game, 46-47 with a minute 34 left to play in the fourth quarter. And it's going to come down to execution and turnovers, I got a feeling, with the minute and 34 left. St. Gen will have the ball coming out of this one on this possession. They're going to have to make good on it, as who knows what the Indians may do. They may come out and press. Let's see if they look to push the issue, or if they're going to let the St. Gen Dragons just bring it down. And looks like they're going to go man-to-man full court. Nope, looks like they're going to press. St. Gen looking to break the press here. Dom inbounds over to Bosler. They swing it out, and it's going to stay man-to-man as they don't stick down, just try to stop the inbound. Bosler looking to drive. Pulls inside, kicks it over to Bennett. Baseline, Bennett back over to Johnson. Johnson, a stop and pop up top, nails it in the paint. And that'll be 2 points for Johnson as St. Gen goes ahead by one. Prost, slow to bring it up here, as now it's going to be the Indians' turn to work as they're looking to get to their man, which is Max Wheeler. He's been on the fence tonight, nailing them left and right. And they try to inbound to Wheeler. They get it inbound. Him and Fritsch, one-on-one. They kick it out to Prost for a three, and he nails it. And 47 seconds to go as Rob Coleman calls a timeout as now they go up by 2. So big hit there by Colden Prost from three-point land as the assist came from Wheeler underneath. As there's 47 seconds left to play, St. Gen forced to call a timeout here and it'll be a 30-second timeout to try and figure out how to come back from this and get 2 points. St. Gen needs to basically tie it up, get a steal, and hit another 2 points. So they're looking to try and get 4 points in before the end of this quarter, or at least at the very least, tie and go into overtime, as right now they trail by 2. It's been a war of attrition here tonight as both teams back and forth, battling defensively and trying to work something inside. And St. Gen will get the ball coming out here after the timeout. Goldman calls in the play. Let's see if execution can happen. Score is 50-48, 47.1 seconds left to play. The Indians looking to at least try to deflect the inbound. Nothing going, so they pull back. Johnson coming up the court, 41 seconds left. Looks like a screen. It's a double screen. Johnson coming off of it, gives it to Stomberg. Stomberg switches it over to Bosler. Looking to try something inside as they give it to Bennett. Bennett up top. Hands off to Johnson again. And St. Gen, both teams pumped up here as they all feel the power of this possession. Johnson swings it back out to Bosler. And Bosler looking inside. And timeout by Coleman as they run the clock down to 14 seconds. As St. Gen may be content here with 2 points. Let's go find out if they're going to try and pull off an overtime or what Coleman's got up his sleeve. With 14.6 seconds left, St. Gen has 1 timeout left, and it looks like their opponent has 2 to call in these 14.6 seconds here. St. Gen trailing by 2. Both teams not in foul trouble really right now as far as that goes. They played a pretty clean game back and forth overall. And this is going to come down to execution on the inbound. So whatever they pull up, they need to get it. And once they hit it, they can't foul, and they can't allow a shot from the other team. Unless, of course, they go to try to seal a win with a 3-point shot. If you're an odds maker right now, I'd probably say you're shooting the inbound, trying to get something off the block or inside the paint. A high percentage shot that you can either rebound if you miss, or you can hit it. Looks like Johnson will inbound here for St. Gen, and normally Bosler's the one who inbounds, so definitely something's up here. Let's see what they try to execute. Looks like a screen from Bennett. Bennett going to the outside, and they give it to Stomberg, and Johnson throws it away. And looks like the play didn't work as Johnson has to immediately foul, and that'll be Johnson's 4th foul with 11.8 seconds left, and looks like the coach is going to call a timeout for St. Vincent. As St. Vincent now in the driver's seat with only 3 fouls, St. Gen has to either foul on a shot or they have to foul consistently twice in a row, which is going to burn time off the clock no matter what. There's 11.8 seconds left, 50-48. St. Gen trails by 2. They've got to try to contest the inbound and maybe get a steal on the inbound and a turnover, and then they can't wait. They've got to go and try to score immediately. So with 11.8 seconds left, St. Gen in dire straits right now as they look to inbound. Good defense by St. Gen so far. And they throw it over the top to Wheeler. Wheeler inside to Nations. Nobody there to do anything. Nations over there to Wheeler. And they're going to give a quick foul to Bennett as 6 seconds burns off the clock. So 5.3 seconds left as Bennett is contributed with his first foul of the night. St. Gen, only hope here is to steal it and go to the house. They look to go over the top. And it's a turnover. Bennett's got it. 2 seconds left. And Bennett shoots and misses the layup. Oh, my God. And St. Gen had the chance to at least take it into overtime. They got the steal. He went to the house and missed the layup. And that'll be the game as St. Gen falls to St. Vincent at the end of the 4th quarter, 50-48 in a back-and-forth battle. Defensively, both teams played well. It was just last-second execution that killed. So St. Gen will go into tonight's game with a loss as the St. Vincent will come out of it. And looking at the matchup tonight, both teams played very well against each other, and the matchup was exactly what we imagined it would be. St. Gen will go to 10-6 on the season, and St. Vincent will go to 14-5 on the season for that. So all in all, nice game. We'll have to call it a night. We will see you tomorrow as we have a home game against, looks like Park Central. You've been watching SGHS Sports Stream, home of the Dragons. For replays, podcasts, blogs, and up-to-date sports coverage, visit sgdragons.org and click on the Sports Stream icon on the right side of the high school page. Stay connected with us on social media, and thank you for supporting Dragon Athletics.